All right, team. So this step right here is how to prep your file for the 3D printer. Now, once you've made an object that looks something like this, where you've made a sketch and then you've extruded it with this tool up here, and you've made kind of a model that you want. This can be either a bushing, or it could be maybe you want to make your wheels 3D printed. It's totally up to you what you want to use this for. It's completely optional as long as you have one thing that's laser cut and one thing that's 3D printed. That's good. You could also just do one of, you can also just choose one. It doesn't have to be both, but here's a quick tutorial on how to export this to get it ready for printing. So once we have our part open like this, we're going to go right down to this tab. We're going to right click it, hit export. Then this menu will pop up. We're going to change the file name to something that's recognizable. So I'm just going to put Mr. Martin. You would put your own name, and I'm going to say bushing. All right, next, the format. So the format has to be an STL. So STL is the file that a 3D printer uses. This we can leave at binary. For units, it's very important that you put millimeters. The MakerBot 3D printer only reads things in millimeters. If you put inches by chance, it won't actually read it, or it'll be way too small. Next, resolution, leave it at medium, and then just leave this as downloads. Next, we can hit export, and it'll automatically download a file through downloads here. From this point, we're going to open up MakerBot. So MakerBot looks like this icon right down here. Of course, it should be on the computers that you're using. If it's not, you're going to have to use either a different computer or download it. But once you have it, you open it up. You may not get the same screen that I do here. You may have to create an account. So pretty straightforward. Just make that account, use your school email and a password you're going to remember, and then log into this screen right here. Once you get to this screen right here, there's a few things we got to set up. The first one is the printer. So you might not have the Replicator Plus thing right here. So you're going to open up this menu, select add an unconnected printer, and then we're going to go down to Replicator Plus. And now we have this as our printer. It automatically changes the size of our workspace. The next thing we want to do is open our project. So we want to open the STL file that we found. So project panel. So to open up your project, you're going to go add models. And we're going to select this one, Mr. Martin Bushing. This was the one that we made in millimeters. We can open it up, and there we go. It's the right size. If you get something like this, so for example, if I press CD Bushing 2, you'll notice it's a super tiny thing over here. If you get a super tiny print, it means that it's reading the inches as millimeters, and it throws the whole thing off. So you can just select that, delete it, and do the whole thing again, but make sure you have it in millimeters. All right. Now that we have this, the next step, you just press export, save it, once again as your name, and where you want to save it to the USB that you have. So right now I don't have a USB here, but you want to open where, and you want to select the USB that you put into the computer. Then after this step, all you have to do is take that USB, put it into the MakerBot 3D printer, select it, and press print.